1 year. It has been 1 year of recoil changes. New gun sounds, aim code, thousands of unsatisfied people, thousands of satisfied people, thousands of hours wasted, thousands of hours gained. When I first made that video, I said you're gonna have to give it some time. You're gonna have to actually play with it because, well, one, it might not be as bad as we think, and two, you always have to give it some time. When a developer or someone who makes a game drops such a core mechanic changing update, you always gotta kind of ease your way into it. And it's hard to really, if you have thousands of hours in the game, which a lot of these people do, it's very easy to be like, no, I'm not doing it. But sometimes you just have to. Well, in this case, you have to. You have no choice, right? You're gonna have the veterans who basically are gonna say, you know what, I need my recoil back. I mean, they should, rightfully so. They put so much hours into it. And then you're gonna have the people that are casual, more new players that are saying, yo, this is fire. And that's what makes this whole topic very funny, because it's been a year since I posted that video, but I still get comments that are talking about the recoil, which is fine. Like, if you want to comment on it, you know what I'm saying? There's very passionate people on this topic. We got Marth from a day ago saying, Rust is ruined. Cry, 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 cry. Recoil update now. They add building skins. Brad Rome's end of wipe. What is Face Punch doing? 6,000 hours for nothing. Now the game is just zergs everywhere, ruining everything. Cry, 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 cry. And like, that's the thing that makes it very interesting. Like, there's people like this, right? Shouts out to Marth. Free Marth, by the way. 6,000 hours. And it's like, that's how you feel, yo. If you put in 6,000 hours and something just changes, it's never gonna be a good feeling. They pretty much just lowered the skill cap and made the game more accessible for casual players. But for me and a lot more tryhard players who like the high skill cap of the old sprays, this update was really boring. Getting nice kills isn't as satisfying, and the aim cone is horrible. So for me, it definitely ruined my experience. Aim cone is definitely horrible, and I was never much of a tryhard player. So I have ignorance in this topic because I never played the game that much, right? Like, I still played the game a lot, depending on who you ask. But if you ask people in this certain community, they're going to say you don't even own the game. The only problem with the new recoil is you can't strafe, stand, or shoot. After spending the time with the update, it's pretty boring. Now, these are all months ago. All right, these are still pretty old when it was relatively new. And obviously, this comment is closer to when the video was actually posted. But this guy says, I've got a little over 7,000 hours in Rust. I don't love these changes for me, but I hope the game grows its players' numbers as a result. I'll adapt to the changes. And then we have this guy who I don't know. But it's crazy because 7,000 hours, I don't think a lot of you really understand how much time that truly is, and it's absolutely ridiculous. 7,000 hours is a lot of hours in anything. If you go to anyone and say I spent 7,000 hours doing X, Y, and Z, they're gonna look at you like, huh? But to really understand this further, you gotta look at how many hours you have in a day. You see, we all know there's 24 hours in a day. Now you take that number and you do 365 times 24, you're gonna get 8,760. All right, so there's 8,760 hours in a year. To put that in perspective, he has 7,000. So you do 7,000 divided by 8,760, you're gonna get 0.799, which we could round up to 80%, which means he's 20% away from having a year's worth of just Rust. Which means when you wake up in the morning and you go brush your teeth, or you go to the gym, you lift some weights, or you go to work, or you spend time with your girl, or you hang out with friends, whatever you may do in your day-to-day life, 80% of that was Rust. So 20% is all the other stuff. But obviously he didn't accumulate all these hours in 1 year. So if you really wanted to find more, you could do 7,000 divided by 5, which is going to be 1,400. And then you could do 1,400 divided by 8,076. If you were to average this over like a 5-year basis, let's say he's played 16%, which to each its own. I don't really care how many hours you spend on Rust. However, what I'm trying to say is they say to master something, it takes 10,000 hours, right? So here we have a lot of people, and he's definitely not the only one. There's people with more hours than this. So here we have people that are going to master, or pretty much on the road to mastering Rust, and then they just whoop and they change it. So you could really understand how soul crunching it is to just have all your progress pretty much gone. Which is why I always said I speak from a point of ignorance, because I don't have that crazy amount of hours, right? The recoil change to me is going to be, it's cool. Like, you can shoot your gun and you can actually play the game. You see, before when you picked up an AK, it was like, yo, man, I got an AK. I got an AK. You weren't going to use it. Like, you're just going to keep it in the box or whatever, and then the wipe ends. You get something really good, you wouldn't use it because you can't. But now it's like you get it and you don't even care. Anyways, the point of this video was to give my opinion on how the recoil is after it's been a year. I say it's good. right? Good players are still good. Like, you're still getting shit on by players that have been playing for their whole life, so that hasn't really changed, which is great. Aim cone's an issue. Like, sometimes there's no certainty sometimes with certain guns. They did add some Tommy changes, all right? They did add some Tommy changes, so I will credit them for that. The Thompson and MP5 have received a buff to their accuracy. Both weapons will now have a high probability to land center hits during extended fully automatic fire. Problem there is the word probability, because probability makes it sound like chance, because it literally is a chance, and people don't like that. People like certainty, especially when it comes to shooting a gun. And they also added Adobe building skins, which my dumbass thought was a new monument itself, or metal walls very early into wipe for some reason. They added a new monument, which is fire with harder scientists and yada yada, a bunch of other stuff. The point is though, the Tommy changes, I think I was feeling it. All right? I was actually playing live on twitch.tv/marth, and I was liking it, man. I don't know, if something felt different.
He's dead. Can you like watch the roof kind of? Left side, Arctic. He's dead.
And so Rust Recoil 1 year later, I feel like I'm not gonna say much needs to change, because I personally think that the game is more playable now the way that it is. Obviously people are still gonna be upset, but you can't make everyone happy. Always remember that. I'm still gonna call the MP5 ass. The only reason why I call it ass is because the Tommy is just easier to use, so why wouldn't you use it? It's easier to use and it does more damage, so to each its own. But I'm also ass, so don't take everything I say to heart. If I had to complain about anything and actually advocate for change, because I don't really care about any of the other stuff, it would have to be the sounds, because like the sounds is like, bro, like come on, bro, like what am I shooting, bro? I'm gonna say it's good. I'm gonna have to say it's good. I know earlier I said that I don't have the most hours, so it's harder for me to empathize and really relate to someone who did put in those hours, because I didn't. I wasn't in the field. I wasn't on UKN. I was not trying to learn every single spray there was. I was not trying to master how to shoot an AK 200 meters away. It just wasn't happening. So this update allows players like me and other players who just wanted something new to enjoy the game. But if you go to a veteran or whoever was, you know, really in the field learning those sprays, they're gonna say, fuck you, you shouldn't even be able to play this game, I run this. Sometimes I feel like you gotta look at it from a developer standpoint. Sure, some are gonna say it's unethical and it's very selfish, but at the end of the day, everyone's gotta eat, right? The developer's gonna ask two things. What needs to change, and who's bringing me money? It's not gonna be that big of a discussion at the table when it's, oh, you know, we need to make this change. These people are gonna be upset, but these people are the ones that are actually bringing in the money. It's not a big discussion then. It's gonna be like, okay, we're changing this tonight, which is why I said some people are gonna say that's pretty messed up, because it's like, damn, I've been playing the game for X amount of time. I feel like I should have some say about where the game goes, or maybe we should try to meet in the middle. But people are still playing it today, and everyone else has adapted. The change isn't really going anywhere, and as I said before, free Marth. Let me know what you guys think. Do you really care about the recoil changes? A year's gone by, right? Is this even still a subject of discussion? Has everyone just accepted the fact that there's bigger problems at hand? Like the fact that Bradley is gonna be roaming, and there's Adobe skins, and what the hell does Adobe mean? I thought that was Premiere Pro. Let me know what you guys think down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.
Somewhere